Hey guys, today I am going to be talking about my life with relationships. A lot of stuff has happened to me in these past 3 years. So, before I knew about myself, I dated this girl named Danny. I can say her name because she's still my best friend and I love her so much, and we talk all the time still. We dated for, I'd say, 3.5 years. From like 3rd grade to 6th grade, I think. I don't know. So, with her, nothing went wrong. It was just, we agreed that it wasn't working out anymore. I was not out at the time, so it wasn't like because of that or anything. Then about a year after that, I'm just gonna be giving these people generic names. So after Danny, I had my first boyfriend. I am not gonna say their name because chances are they're watching. Welcome back to my channel, by the way. His name is going to be Bob. So I dated Bob for a total of 8 months. This was probably the most toxic relationship I have ever had with anybody. We're gonna start out with 2 months into it. I saw his phone and I found out that he was not being very loyal to me. I'm not gonna explain what I found on his phone, but I'm just gonna leave that there for you to understand. To top it all off, that day happened to be my birthday. Happy birthday to me, right? I was stupid when I was younger, and let me remind you, this was my first boyfriend ever, and I didn't know how relationships worked. I stayed with him for the remaining 6 months. He continued to do the stuff over that 6 months. I wasted so much time and I'm just now realizing it. And this was during the time of my success on Musical.ly. Before that, you know. He would always be so jealous of me and like what I've been able to accomplish. Not supposed to be that way to your significant other, ever. What also made him the worst influence in my life was probably the fact that I would be sneaking out at around 1, 2 a.m. and I would walk over to his house. Like that was a habit of mine, sneaking out of my house. My parents had to set alarms just so I wouldn't leave in 1 in the morning when I should be sleeping on a school night. But me, being the little juvenile kid that I was, I jumped out of the upstairs window. There's no alarms upstairs. That's the only way that I could have gotten out of the house. So I jumped out of a 2-story window and put a ladder down there so I could get back up, just so I could go see him. This is stressful just talking about. When I thought about making this video, I was seeing it as something that'd be funny. I'm mad. Kinda. Actually, it's kinda funny. I would take my mom's money so that I could go over and buy stuff with him. Oh, it was so bad. Ugh. I know y'all are probably wondering why I stayed with him that long. I don't think you realize how young I was and the fact that I had no idea what was going on. I thought this was my true love. When you find someone that you're actually attracted to after dating a girl for 3 years, you're like, wow, I found the one. This is very embarrassing for me to even talk about. I would make fake accounts and message him on it because I wanted to see if he was loyal or not. And time after time, the same thing happened. He would not be loyal. He would do stuff with the account. And it always led to me crying and being upset. And then I would get over it. That's not how relationships would work. And I should have known that. That was my first boyfriend, Bob. And that's the story of how he was, in fact, the worst out of all of them. That sounds bad. I've only dated like 4 guys. Next, after him, came someone, I'm gonna name him Rick. Rick was a really good person to me. Rick never cheated on me, I don't think. But what did happen is neglection. Me and Rick had a very distant relationship after the first few months. I went to Florida for the summer like I usually do to see my dad, and we would FaceTime every night, but it was silent. We would just be on the phone doing our own thing for hours. To top it all off, it got worse. I started getting attached to him. He started detaching himself from me. I would send stuff like, "Good night, I love you." What does a normal person send? "Good night, I love you too." What does he send? Night. Who sends night to someone after they say, "Good night, I love you"? That blows my mind. He also happened to be a very stressed person and would often blame everything on stress. If he wasn't talking to me, he'd be like, "I'm sorry, I'm just stressed out." All the time. All the time. 24/7. That would always be the issue. I get that you're stressed out sometimes, but if that's really how you are, you shouldn't have gotten in this relationship in the first place. That's how it went with Rick. After Rick, I started having a thing with someone. Let's call them Logan. Things were okay with Logan. We hung out a couple times. The biggest red flag was I found him on a dating app. Do not date someone from an app. Why? Because you don't know them and you don't know what they are, who they are, and what they're like. So 3 weeks in to this thing, not official yet, and I decided maybe not. Maybe I don't want to do this, you know. He did not like that idea at all. So what happened? He started showing up at my house with stuff for me. He honestly was not a bad person. So this was not a really bad experience, except for the fact that I felt obligated into this. He came to my house, brought me flowers and food, and I'm not gonna be able to say this without laughing. He was terrified of my dog, legit terrified. When he came to my house one day, my dad opened up the door and our dog got out and chased him off of our lawn. Keep in mind, I have a dachshund, okay? It's maybe this long and kind of fat, but he was terrified of this dog. He just took off running. That was probably the funniest thing I've ever witnessed from someone. So after things with him, I mean like after as in a couple months, I started seeing this guy long distance. This is another really bad story, so I hope you got your popcorn because you're gonna enjoy it. This person, I'm gonna name them Jose. Jose lived down in another city with Danny, my best friend. Danny moved away a couple months ago, and I went to visit her, and I saw this guy down when I went to the city. I did not know much about him at this time. We ended up going to a mall, and then the movies, and at the movies, I gave him his first kiss. So I was basically his first person that he had feelings for. I went down and saw him another time after that because of Danny, and I wanted to see him, of course. After a couple months, things started turning downhill. He was sad at all times because of the fact that we can't be together. And what he told me was he would be more sad if we weren't together. So that means I end up making him sad no matter what. No matter what. There's no way for me to make him happy because of the distance. We started getting really distant over time. Now, this is gonna be the part where it's kind of insane and confusing for me. After about 6 months of us being together, I ended things with us because I felt that it would help him and help me move on. And I knew that if I ripped the bandage off, it would help him in the long run. So with that being said, I, after breaking up with him, took a time to just focus on myself. My guy friends that I would hang out with while I was with him, he would accuse me of cheating on him with them because of a past experience he had. Keep in mind, I am a very, very loyal person. And for someone to accuse me of something like that, I get defiant, defensive. I think that's the word. I was very defensive over that because I take it very seriously. As we've noticed, that's happened to me before, and I do not support that kind of stuff. About a week after, not even a week, a couple days, I found out that he was already engaging himself in stuff with tons of guys. Me being the way that I am, I still have feelings for this person. Imagine having feelings for someone that is already moved on. And I get that it was my idea for this whole breakup between us, but it was to fix us, to make us better. It's not ripping away the feelings that we had for each other. Long story short, I ended up doing something not very appropriate. I tried something for the first time, and I was not in the right frame of mind by doing that. And I ended up calling him while I was not in the right state of mind. I was pretty obviously not in the right state of mind. He knew about it, and the whole time I was just crying, asking him why he was doing this with other people. And do you know what he does? He records it all, including the part where I said the reason why I was not in the right state of mind. What does he do? He blackmails me. Why would he blackmail me? So that I can continue talking to him. He threatened to show my mom what he recorded if I didn't continue talking to him. I'm mature now, past all these relationships, knowing what I'm doing and how to handle these. So, first thing I do is I block him from my mom's phone so that he can't contact that. Second thing I do is I confess to my mom about it so that if he finds a way, she'll already know. My mom was very supportive of finding out that I did that, knowing that it wasn't gonna happen again. Of course, it wasn't very, like, congrats on that. It was more of, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. But that's how my relationships have gone in my life so far. This was exhausting on my brain to think about. Just for clarification, I am not trying to bash these people, because frankly I've moved on and they're irrelevant to me now. They all hold a part of my history and what made me me. So if you are one of those people and you're watching this, thank you. You surely have turned me into a better person. All of you guys that aren't part of this video, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to understand what's happened in my life. With that being said, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel because I will be uploading a lot more that I have a new phone, even though in about 3 weeks I will be going on a cruise and I will not be able to post then, but hopefully I will be able to get a new video out before then. Thank you guys all for stopping by to my channel, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I am signing out. Peace.